Good evening, everyone, and welcome to LawSikho's thorough newspaper analysis for the 22nd of June 2023. Now, today we have one editorial article which has been taken from the Indian Express, and it talks about the livestock and the livestock products bill and as to why it was withdrawn. Now, for the second and the third segment of the day, we will have the news update and the legal news. So, with respect to today's editorial article on why the draft bill regarding livestock and livestock products was withdrawn, we look upon firstly that the Livestock and the Livestock Products Importation and Exportation Bill 2023 was withdrawn after protests from animal welfare organizations. Now, the bill was brought forward on the 10th of June and 7th of June and was given a 10 days day for the stakeholders to drop their comments on it. Now, why a new bill? What was the reason that the parliament thought that a new bill should be brought? Well, the bill was brought in to replace the 125-year-old Livestock Importation Act of 1898. So this is way before our independence. Now, the new bill allowed exports of livestock on a much larger scale while also decreasing the ambit of state regulation on the matter of exportation and importation. Now, the bill was brought in to align the provisions of the Act with the contemporary requirements around the world. And the last amendment to this Act had been made in 2001, which was also during the NDA government, led by Atal Bihari Vajpayee, which allowed importing of livestock. Now, previously, we were just exporting. The new bill not only seeks to regulate import and export of livestock, but also expand the definition of livestock to include all equines, irrespective of purpose. Thus, this would also bring in animals like cats and dogs. And this is what has created a lot of uproar amongst the animal welfare organizations. So now we look at why the criticism. Well, animal rights organizations are contending that the draft bill would open a Pandora's box of cruelties on animals. The proposed bill also allows live export of animals, which means it would become a blanket free pass for the abuse of millions of animals. Now, the fact that the exportation of animals is already a multi-million dollar industry in India, such rampant abuse of animals would definitely cause concerns for animal welfare organizations. With that, we move on to the news updates for today. Firstly, we have Himalayan glaciers on track to lose up to 75% of ice by 2100. The Hindu Kush Himalaya stretches 3,500 kilometers, 2175 miles across Afghanistan, Bangladesh, Bhutan, China, India, Myanmar, Nepal, and Pakistan. At 1.5 degrees Celsius or 2 degrees centigrade of warming above pre-industrial temperatures, glaciers across the entire region will lose 30% to 50% of their volume by 2100. But where glaciers will melt most depends on location. At 3 degrees centigrade of warming, what the world is roughly on track for under current climate policies, glaciers in the eastern Himalaya, which includes Nepal and Bhutan, will lose up to 75% of their ice. At 4 degrees centigrade, we can take it up to 80%. Next up, we have SBI Managing Director Janakiraman, new RBI Deputy Governor. This is the first time in more than 20 years that a State Bank of India Managing Director has been appointed as the RBI Deputy Governor. Vepa Kamisam was the last SBI MD to be appointed as the RBI Deputy Governor, who served from July 1st, 2001 to September 23, 2003. Now, our new SBI MD and RBI Deputy Governor, Sri Swaminathan Janakiraman, served the largest lender in various capacities, including Deputy Managing Director and Chief Digital Officer. He also spent a significant amount of time in a stint in SBI's New York branch as head of trade. Next up, we have the International Yoga Day. International Yoga Day, celebrated on June 21st every year, is a global event that promotes the physical, mental, and spiritual well-being of practical yoga. This day aims to raise awareness about the numerous advantages of incorporating yoga into one's daily life and to encourage people around the world to embrace this ancient practice. The idea of observing International Yoga Day was proposed by the Prime Minister of India, Narendra Modi, during his speech at the United Nations General Assembly in September 2014. Next up, we have Acharya Gopi conferred the first Professor Jayashankar Award. Eminent poet, literary critic, and Sahitya Academy Award recipient Acharya N. Gopi has been selected for Professor Kothapalli Jayashankar Award instituted by Bharat Jagruti, a cultural organization and extended arm of Bharat Rashtra Samiti. Next up, we have Punjab Assembly approves bill CM to replace Governor as Chancellor of State Universities. In a significant development, the Punjab Assembly has passed the Punjab Universities Laws Amendment Bill 2023, which replaces the governor with chief minister as the chancellor of state-run universities. This move grants the state government greater control over higher education institutions. In our international news segments for the day, we have Oman creates history as first foreign government to promote country through yoga. In a pioneering initiative, the Indian Embassy in the Sultanate of Oman has introduced an innovative video called Soulful Yoga Serene Oman on the eve of International Day of Yoga 2023. The Indian Embassy partnered with Visit Oman, a subsidiary of Oman's Ministry of Tourism, to produce the video. This marks the first instance of a foreign government using yoga to promote its own country. In 2022, Muscat Yog Mahotsav, a 75-day celebration featuring over 75 yoga events across major cities in Oman, timed with the 75 years of India's independence under the Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav, was celebrated. Continuing their efforts, the embassy launched the Oman Yoga Yatra this year, a 5-month-long journey leading up to a large-scale celebration of the International Day of Yoga 2023. Next up, we have World Bank to approve aid package worth 700 million to Sri Lanka. The proposed funding would comprise of $500 million for budgetary support, likely to be disbursed in 2 installments of $250 million each. The initial tranche is anticipated to be granted immediately following board approval, with the second installment potentially arriving in October, contingent upon Sri Lanka's progress in debt restructuring and the upcoming first review of the IMF program in September. Additionally, an allocation of $200 million will be earmarked for programs aimed at assisting the country's impoverished population, which is swelled to 25% in the wake of last year's severe economic crisis. The country experienced a record 7.8 contraction last year, primarily due to depleted foreign exchange reserves. Next up, we have Salman Rushdie wins prestigious German Peace Prize. The Peace Prize for the German book trade for 2023 has been awarded to the British American author Salman Rushdie for his indomitable spirit, for his affirmation of life, and for enriching our world with his love of storytelling. The Peace Prize of this German book trade, endowed with 25,000 euros or $27,300, will be handed out at a ceremony in October during Frankfurt Book Fair. The prize, created in 1950, recognizes a personality committed to serving international understanding between nations and cultures through their work. Now, for the legal updates today, we have Karnataka High Court issues directions to determine tax difference calculation for pre-GST works contract. The Karnataka High Court has issued directions for determining the tax difference calculation for pre-GST works contracts. The bench observed that the tax difference should be calculated on the balance work executed after July 1st, 2017 separately. And this was held in the case of B.S. Kumar Swamy versus the state of Karnataka. So this was all for today. For free study materials and TNA PDF slides, please join our Telegram channel, the link of which you can find in the description given below, or you can always scan the barcode that is given on your screen. Thank you.